Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gordon. We are back with another video. Today we're doing an updated price prediction video for SUI by the peak of the bull cycle. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification icon as well, and you've got a free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin waiting for you in the description below the video. So go ahead and grab that as well. It's my gift to you, and let's jump in to talk about SUI. So first and foremost, guys, today's video is sponsored by TauStats. TauStats is the leading BitTensor explorer in the world of crypto and AI. It's important to get reliable and useful data, and TauStats allows you to do just that. You can buy, sell, and stake BitTensor on TauStats. There is a link for TauStats in the description below this video as well for you to check it out. But just like this, you can jump over here and check out all the different subnets on TauStats for the BitTensor ecosystem, analyzing data about emissions, individual subnets, their volume, trading history, price action, etc. Lots of very interactive and up-to-date data. So check out TauStats for more details on everything to do with the BitTensor network. As I said, a link for TauStats in the description below this video. So let's jump over to talk about SUI. As we are making this video, we're currently sitting at a $3.77 price for the SUI token. We've had a pretty choppy few months, but it does look like there's a bit of silver lining here on the horizon. Over the past few weeks, we've seen SUI technically break out of its downtrend that it had been in since these middle of January highs. A phenomenal run up with the price action of SUI getting all the way up to this $5.40 mark by the time we got to the beginning of January. Of course, we entered an extended downtrend as Bitcoin was pulling back in Q1. SUI and most of the rest of the market also pulled back pretty strongly. However, we did see a nice bottom in that first week of April, huge bounce and rally to reclaim the 200-day. We lost it a few weeks later. And if you remember, guys, a lot of this price action here to this downside was driven by the Cetus hack. The leading DEX on the SUI network did have a hack event, and that did impact price action, in my opinion. We lost the 200-day. We accumulated and consolidated for a little bit here, finding some new lows by the middle to end of June. And it's been a pretty steady uptrend since then. And we reclaimed the 200-day, broke out of this downtrend, came back down to retest, and we are getting a little bit of a bounce. So things are looking more positive for SUI now compared to a couple of months ago. And there's lots of very good action happening from an on-chain standpoint. We will look at that in a moment. But I'm expecting SUI to make moves up and to the right here. If we can see Bitcoin continuing to follow global M2, if we get rate cuts in September here in about a month's time, we should see altcoins continue to move to the upside. And if we take a look at let's say a SUI Bitcoin chart very, very briefly, we can see that SUI has been significantly outperforming Bitcoin here for the past year and a half. Even if we just go back to August of last year, technically speaking, SUI has outperformed Bitcoin by 367%. Remember, the only reason I want to invest in anything other than Bitcoin is if I think it has the potential to outperform Bitcoin on a percentage basis. This SUI BTC chart looking like it's putting in a little bit of a bull flag, potentially to continue moving higher here as well. And I like to bring up SUI dominance and check that every so often as well. SUI dominance maintaining this nice strong uptrend as well, where we're continuing to see its dominant share of the market increase over time. We're sitting at 0.34%, having reclaimed the 200-day and consolidated here around it. We did get all the way up to 0.5% market dominance for SUI back with those January highs. And so I do think with this consolidation happening right now on dominance, it's helping us to get ready to make a bigger move to the upside in the next few months if we get Bitcoin dominance continuing to move to the downside and a true altcoin rally pushing on from there. So that's what we're looking for happening. And I think SUI is poised as one of the leading alts over the past year or two to really make bigger moves against Bitcoin and the rest of the market when the time for altcoin season truly does kick in. The other thing I love to watch here is TVL in terms of decentralized finance on the SUI network. This pattern I'm seeing on the chart here is really, really nice, and what I love to see for different protocols in terms of growth in DeFi. Going from the beginning of 2024, SUI had only $200 million of TVL on chain, and we're looking at more than a 10x in terms of its TVL growth here over the past year and a half. We've gone from $200 million to $2.13 billion in terms of TVL on SUI over the past 18 to 20 months. Leading protocols include SUI Lend and Navi protocol, leading lending and borrowing protocols on the SUI network. You've got other DEXs like Bluefin, Momentum. Cetus is making a comeback after having agreed to repay all of user funds from that initial hack. Protocols like AlphaFi, Kai Finance, Aftermath, Turbos, OG Dex here. I've made videos on most of those protocols. You can check them out on the channel as well, guys. But if you look at any of those individual protocols, what you're really seeing is, again, a nice steady up and to the right growth curve with relation to the amount of TVL on SUI and on those individual protocols. What does that mean? Well, it basically means that you're seeing more capital flowing into SUI from retail investors. And as more retail enters the market in the mania phase and altcoin season, it means that the liquidity floodgates are already in place for all of these protocols. It makes it super easy and low friction for more capital to flow into SUI over the coming months as more retail arrives. Okay, lower barrier to entry equals more capital flowing in, equals TVL going higher, equals price for SUI token going higher as well, in my opinion. Again, just before we get on to the price prediction, guys, nothing in this video is financial advice. This is pure speculation. Always do your own research, check out the fundamentals for any asset, and obviously look at the technicals on a very deep level as well. But without further ado, I want to give you my update for where I think the price of SUI can get to in a bear case, base case, and bull case scenario. Okay, there are variables in this equation, guys, so take this with a pinch of salt. I have to plug in some assumptions here with regards to where total crypto market cap is going to get to, with regards to where SUI's dominance is going to get to, and of course we know we'll have about 3.6 billion tokens in circulation for SUI by the end of 2025, but we don't even know if the peak of the market will happen by the end of 2025 or if it could bleed into 2026. So there's variables that we have to account for here, and none of this is perfect, but I'm plugging in my best assumptions for the bear case, base case, and bull case. So in a bear case scenario, what I'm thinking is total crypto market cap could peak somewhere around $5 trillion. If I jump back to total crypto market cap, we've already moved higher than $4 trillion here in the past week, coming back down to retest this level of support. And I'm thinking we're going to go higher, but getting to $5 trillion really is not too much of a stretch, in my opinion, if we get rate cuts and we see Bitcoin following global M2. In a bear case, I think SUI can get to 0.9% dominance. Again, we already saw how it got to 0.5% with that run up at the end of 2024 into January 2025. And so I think getting to 0.9% from where we are is doable in a bear case. Dividing that $45 billion market cap, which we would get to with a 5 trillion crypto market cap and SUI at 0.9% dominance, basically gives us a $12.50 price in a bear case scenario. That's a little bit more than a 2x from those previous all-time highs around that $5.40 mark. Okay, next up, I've got the base case scenario. Again, assumptions getting plugged in here, but in a base case, I think total crypto market cap can get to $7 trillion US dollars. In a base case, I think it's very possible for SUI to get to 1% dominance. Again, we saw Solana getting all the way up to 2.8% dominance at the peak of the last cycle in 2021. So SUI doing a little bit worse than 1/3 of that, or a little bit better than 1/3 of that in this cycle, I think is reasonable. That would give us a $70 billion market cap for SUI. Again, dividing it by 3.6 billion tokens gives us a $19.44 price target for SUI in my base case scenario. And finally, last but never least, we've got the bull case scenario. Again, I know this is the number most of you guys are probably still looking for here, but in a bull case, what we're looking at is total crypto market cap potentially getting as high as $9 trillion US dollars. If SUI can get all the way up to 1.25% dominance, that gives us a market cap in the region of $112 billion for SUI. Dividing it by 3.6 billion tokens in circulation brings us out to a $31.25 price target for SUI by the peak of the bull market in my bull case scenario. And that is the breakdown. What do you think of those numbers, guys? Please drop me a comment below this video. I want to hear where you think the price of SUI will get to by the peak of the cycle. Do you think these numbers are bullish? Are you even more bullish on where you think it can get to? You know, getting somewhere close to $20 is pretty bullish from where we're at right now at $3.77. But I do think that base case is doable for SUI with all the hype, with its outperformance of Bitcoin and most of the alts this cycle so far, and everything happening on chain with the growth of all the protocols and the TVL that we're seeing increasing over time. So drop me a comment below this video. I want to hear what you guys think of these numbers, and let me know if you're holding SUI in your portfolio. That is it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed that SUI price prediction update. Drop me a comment, like I said, if you did enjoy it. I want to hear from you in the comments below. Let's make it conversational. Let's keep growing the channel. If you got any value out of this video today, please just take 3 seconds. Literally do it right now while we're on the video. Smash that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. It helps to spread the good word and keep growing the channel. Make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification icon as well, and don't forget to grab your completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin waiting for you in the description below this video. Grab it now, and we'll catch you in the next one.